Mr. Jaitley, today is a big moment, not just for the government, but also for the country. The GST tax, perhaps we will say, is the biggest economic reform that this country has undertaken.
Well, it's one of the most important tax reforms. It's the biggest tax reform since independence. There have been a large number of other reforms also. But this economically integrates India by both the central and the state governments pooling in their sovereignty. And instead of having multiple taxation at multiple rates, tax on tax and the cascading effect, it integrates India into one economic entity. And I think India becomes a big market. There'll be a seamless transfer of goods and services across the country. There'll be simplification of tax. In the long run, the tax structures itself will become more reasonable. Evasion will become more difficult. And I think it's a step which will eminently help the Indian economy to grow.
A difficult task achieved that in Rajya Sabha you have, out of the 32 odd parties, most supporting it and none opposing it.
Well, I think this shows Indian democracy at its best, for the reason that we differ morning and evening on various issues. We've differed on various suggestions relating to the GST also, but by a process of discussion, consultations, involvement of the chief ministers, involvement of the finance ministers of the states in the empowered committee, extensive consultations with parliamentary leaders of various political parties, hectic consultations between the two major national parties. I think it's all helped us in converging towards a consensus. And a major reform like this cannot be dealt with on a partisan basis, for the simple reason that every political party in India, or a major political party, is either in power in some state or the other, or is likely to be in power. And therefore, this is not a proposal which could be ever implemented on partisan lines. It's a proposal which eminently requires a unanimity or an overwhelming consensus. And our effort has been to avoid a split as far as possible.
How confident are you about the April 2017 deadline?
It depends on a number of factors, because once this bill is approved by both houses of parliament, it has to be ratified by the states. Thereafter, the supporting legislations will have to come. There are some modalities, functional modalities between the states and the centre which has to be worked out. The IT backbone has to be got ready, which is also at a fairly advanced stage.
They are saying by October it may be ready.
Yeah, we are trying to do all that. We are in a state of readiness, and I think I'm keeping my fingers crossed that we'd like to do it as soon as possible.
Do you think the rate fixing you're closer?
Well, I think the empowered committee has come out with guiding principles, and those guiding principles are very important. They want the rate to come down eventually, but they want sufficient tax that the center and the state has enough revenue to run the system. So these are the guiding principles which the states, the empowered committee has decided. I agree with those guiding principles, and I think since we are chartering into a territory which will have to be experimented, over the next few months there'll be more clarity as to what the rates are going to be. The rates are also going to be picked up, as I said, by the GST Council, which is a body in which both centre and the states have a pooled sovereignty.
Thank you very much, sir. Almost now 11 hours later, we hope that the bill will be passed. We wish you luck. Thank you very much.